Good evening, everyone. Sarah here, team leader for Team Elevate, welcoming you to the final instalment of our Mother's Day mini-series. From my team tonight, I have got Deb. Say hello, Deb.
Hi, everyone. Welcome tonight.
We're just going to quickly whip up three little things to give you a bit of inspo, whether you want to see instructions from the couch on Mother's Day or someone in the household can happily whip up one or all of these things for you. That's the whole point, just to make life a bit easier and fun. So we are going to start off with a seriously lemony slice. So without further ado, let's crack on. All the recipe links will come in the email, but we'll also put them in the chat box as the night goes on. So let's start off with the first one. So this asks you to pop in the oven 180 degrees. It says line a brownie tin. I've just got one of our rose gold springform tins. This is just a 20 centimetre one. It wants 180 grams of plain flour. I might make you co-host as well, Jeff, so you can let people in. And then it wants 125 grams of plain, caster sugar. I just use raw for everything, so in that goes. And we're going to mix this for 5 seconds.
Welcome, everyone. Sarah's just started the Seriously Lemon Slice. And it has been recorded, so if you've missed the first bit, you can jump back on later.
It just wants 125 grams of cubed butter. We're just going to get that in. That's nice and cold from the fridge. And this is just going to mix for 15 seconds.
It just needed a little distraction. Thankfully, German trains run on time. Last glass had a little more kick than I expected.
So all we've done basically is bring all that together.
I just think this.
So then it just looks like this. It's almost like a shortbread consistency. So we're going to pop that into our tin.
I gave you 18 years of my life, you son of a bitch. This was all inevitable, Matt. Don't take it personally.
And see, it comes out, your bowl's basically clean, good to go again. It just says use your fingers, so I'm just going to spread it out a little bit with the spatula. And I'm just going to press it in with my hand.
Or be killed.
So you can use a round tin, or you can use I use a rectangle tin too in the, so it's in the
Or
pan, really.
Square tin. Anything that you like, really. This just forms like a nice biscuity type layer on the bottom of your slice.
Because I missed the start, Sarah, I'm not sure if you talked about how you've put in the bottom of the baking paper. Did you explain that?
No, so I just unclip the springform tin, put in a piece of baking paper, close it up, and then I just put in butter, and then just pop in a little bit of baking paper on the sides. Washing. I love the rose gold, so I literally just like to turn around and wipe it out with a damp cloth. So I don't bother putting these with any dishwashing or any of that sort of stuff. So that's literally our base, and that is going to go in the oven. That cooks for 15 minutes at 180 degrees, and then we're going to turn it down. So get that one in. I'm going to use the arrow at the top of the Thermomix screen. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. And this timer works independently of your recipe. So it will happily go in the background while we carry on with the recipe. So it wants 30 grams, it says caster sugar, but yet again, still just raw sugar. It wants 2 lemons, the thin peels, so literally just the peel. And your kitchen toolkit, which is the gift we purchase at the minute, or one part of the gift we purchase. The lovely peeler is fabulous for just taking off the zest.
And it's so sharp.
Yeah, I don't know how about you, but I think I've permanently lost the corner of my thumb.
Yep.
I love being sharp. So we're going to grind that down so we get a beautiful fine.
Don't be naive.
So this is, you know, grinds up all that beautiful lemon rind. So then you just have this beautiful zest with the sugar.
Lie to yourself every day.
So then it wants you to insert the butterfly whisk. So remember with your butterfly whisk, never overspeed 4. So there's 4 blades. That helps you remember. Literally sits on the top just like that behind the tallest one. It wants 270 grams of, you know, more of our imaginary caster sugar because it's just raw. It wants 4 large eggs. So I'm just going to crack those into a bowl. Don't ever crack eggs directly into the Thermomix because what if it's off? It does happen from time to time, and I'm not wasting the ingredients that I have in my bowl. Who makes slices in their Thermomix? I'd love to hear. Type in the chat or bring yourself off mute if you actually cook slices or cakes or whisk balls or any of that sort of thing. We'd love to hear what ones are your favourites.
One of my new favourites, Sarah, is the quick sponge that I did in last week's online session. I've made that a couple of times since. Very popular at work as well. Nice and easy. Makes a lot as well.
The work colleagues have discovered that one.
Oh yes, my work colleagues are very happy with the new colleague who cooks.
With the new colleague who cooks. I love that. So we've got that in our lemon juice. There was something I was missing as I looked at it on the bench. So it's 125 of the lemon juice.
I also, when you're doing your tin and lining that base, I often flip over the base as well. So then you have a nice.
Sorry?
I flip over my base of my tin if I'm doing that same trick with the paper, because then you have a nice flat surface and you don't have that little ridge that's inside the bottom of your springform tin base. So then you've got a nice flat base.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So we're going to mix this one for 3 minutes. Now that we've added the flour in. Give it for 10 seconds first, and then we're going to give it a whip for 3 minutes.
And how good is it now with the built-in timer function? Love it.
All right. I'm just going to pour that over the base, and then we're good to go. Deb, would you like to start the sauce for your burger tacos? I'm just going to mute myself for a second.
Sorry, we've got an open plan living, so I've just had to tell my husband who's watching a movie, please turn it down a little bit for a minute. So I am making the smash burger taco. This is a fairly recently new recipe and had family out last Sunday and thought, I'll give this a go. Well, they all absolutely raved about them. Quick and easy. You have leftover sauce. They're so good that we are having them again this Sunday night. And I'm actually going to be doubling my recipe today because I'll show you what I'll do with my mince when I'm finished. And then that's my Sunday night tea already done and dusted and prepared. So I'm going to start cooking. I have been sitting because I've got plantar fasciitis, which is very painful. So I have to sit a bit. So we're just going to add in 50 grams of pickles. So they're just your jar pickles that I buy from the supermarket already pickled to make the sauce. 30 grams of your eschalot. Insert the mixing bowl, lid. Spin around to speed 8 for 4 seconds. And then scrape down the side. Now I'm actually using my flexi spatch. Whilst I also love my normal spatula with my Thermomix, I love this spatula. It just gets everything down from the sides with so much more ease and gets under the blades. So these are available on the mix shop too. Scraping down. It does leave a couple of them a bit whole. If you don't like them whole, you can mix it up again, but we actually like some of them whole. 200 grams of mayonnaise. Get ahead of myself there, sorry. Now, I'm not doubling the sauce ingredients because I find it makes enough, but I am doubling the mince. Some 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. I've got raw sugar, doesn't have to be white sugar. 1/4 teaspoon of mustard powder. Quarter teaspoon of garlic powder. And 2 pinches of your sea salt. Lid back on. And around to speed 4. I think it was 10 seconds. And then that is as quick and easy as that sauce takes. I'll just scrape down the sides. And there's that sauce. So that is going to be transferred. I'll scrape it down a bit better now, and I'm going to pop that in a container in the fridge. And that is your sauce done and dusted, ready to go. 5 seconds.
Super easy. Who's online tonight who has made mayonnaise before? There's a few different recipes on Cookie Do. One in particular that my family love is the Kewpie mayonnaise. So the Japanese mayonnaise you can buy at the supermarket. If you've ever actually looked at the ingredients on it, you'd rather not. But super, super easy to make your own. And then we have the great squeezy bottles in the mix shop. We've got the small, medium, large size, and they come as a set of 2. They're super awesome for the mayonnaise that you've made into the bottle, ready to just squeeze out whenever you need. So yeah, comment in the chat if you've made mayonnaise and what your favourite recipe is.
Mine's actually the wasabi mayonnaise. There is a beautiful potato salad, a wasabi potato salad on Cookie Do, and the mayo in that is absolutely delicious. So you've actually got wasabi in the mayonnaise that you make. So that's super good. I'm literally just waiting for the base to come out of the oven in order to put my filling in, to pop it back in the oven. So while Deb's got the mayo that she's scooping out over there, We might have a bit of a chat about the current host rewards at the minute, because there is quite a lot to choose from these days if you haven't hosted a demo in quite some time. So 3 of the items that are the essentials bundle that comes with a Thermomix when you invest in one at the minute, the good old kitchen toolkit, which has your ice cream scoop, a little dry bag so it stays nice and dry. You get a pointed and a curved paring knife. You get a butter knife. You get your peeler, and you get your beautiful kitchen scissors, which actually separate. So they're really easy to clean. They'll cut straight through a chicken carcass. They're absolutely fantastic. They're made from solid and steel. They are brilliant. That's a host reward, but it's also a gift at the minute. The 2.6 litre round thermo server is also a host reward and a gift at the minute if you're purchasing at the minute. The duo bread mats are also part of the gift. So you get the smaller one, and Deb's got the larger one that she can show you, which are 2 baking mats that you can use for wrapping your doughs, rolling out your pastry. There, Deb's got the giant big one at the top. That is now new and improved, and it actually has a heap of circles on the middle. So Kaz
Like
is
this one.
showing that up at the minute. If you want to talk, Kaz, so you pop up on the screen.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, so we now have, so it's 40 by 60 centimeters, so great big size, especially for a lot of those doughs that you want to roll out into a big rectangle. But you've got those circles in the middle to help guide you, especially if you're making your pastry for a pie dish or a tin. You've got those circles there as guides for you. So super easy. And one of my favorite ways to dry it, after you've washed it, put a tea towel or a fluffy hand towel on it. And if you roll it up with the towel in it, that is the easiest way you will ever dry it.
Yeah.
And then I just roll it up as well, and store it in the drawer like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just leave it all rolled up, stored in your drawer. Good to go. They're fabulous. Great for rolling out all your pastry, your biscuits, all sorts of stuff on. So that's one of the host rewards. What else do we have? We have got vacuum containers. This is the large 2.7 litre vacuum container, so it will hold all the contents of your Thermomix. It's great for doing the low-waste chicken lasagna, but you can do lots of different things, because the bases, without the insert, that can go in the oven, the freezer, the fridge, and the microwave. So the bases are transferable. So you could cook your lasagna, let it cool down, pop it into the fridge once you've sealed it off, or the freezer. Really good for that. The top comes with 2 colours. So you've got the day of the month and also the month. So they're 2 different date rings. So you can notify when you've popped it in. If you're storing fruit or cold meats or things like that, you've got a little raised tray, which keeps them up out of their juices, so they stay fresher longer as well. But you literally pop it on the top, pop the vacuum seal one on the top, which Deb's going to show you later on, and you wait for the little dimple to cool down, and then they're lovely and stored. So I put pineapple in one of these when we first got them. Put the date on it, thankfully, because I promptly forgot about it at the back of the fridge. The whole point was to see how long it would last. We remembered it in there a month later, and it was like the day I had cut it. So they're very, very good at keeping things lovely and fresh.
My strawberries, I got 2.5 weeks out of them. Love it.
Yeah. And you're lucky to get 2 days out of a pun of strawberries these days out of the supermarket. Yeah. You also can get the white 2 litre thermo server as a host reward. That's another good one. And Deb, do you have the oval one there, the 2.5 litre oval?
Sorry, I've got to unmute myself. So there's the oval one for you to see.
And then, of course, we've also got the bonus offer at the moment of the sensor code. This one goes until the 4th of June. So it's literally a little code that you can pop into your meats, fish, anything like that, but you can also put it into your wet mixes like your cakes. There's the timer. Not sure whether you can hear it, but that's to let me know I can get my cake out of the oven, sliced in, and I've just got the bottom of the Fira trays that's I can then put my tray straight onto. So there we've just got the bottom there. It's just got a nice light golden colour on it. I'm just going to pour our lovely lemony filling over the top of that. The smell here on that is absolutely divine. And then this is going to go back into the oven, but I'm dropping the temperature down to only 140 degrees. I'm going to leave the door open for just a second while that temperature drops down. And this is going to go back into the oven for 40 minutes. So I'm going to touch my timer again and set it for 40. That one's good to go.
Do you want me to keep going with my taco burger, Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely, Deb. Very
All right.
good.
All right. So I have taken the sauce out of my bowl, but I haven't washed my bowl because I find that the leftover sauce in it mixes through the mix and it just gives it that bit more flavour. So you don't have to wash your bowl. I'll just show you. I've left a little bit in there. Looking nice and messy. So, oh, hang on. So we're going to add 600 grams of beef, but I've got a kilo. So I'm doubling it.
So you can also use a Thermomix to make your own mince, whether it be your beef mince, chicken, pork, anything like that. So if you're making your own dumplings, you can make your own mince straight away from your chicken breast or chicken thighs, pork strips, anything like that. You can make your own really easily.
Especially pork and chicken because it's so expensive when you buy it minced. Adding in your onion powder. Adding in the chipolata sauce, which gives it a nice spice. And I'll just grab a spoon. Depending on whether you like it hot, to the 500 grams of mince, I usually just put 1 teaspoon in because I've got a teenage daughter in the house who doesn't like it too spicy. We love it spicy. She's not home tonight, so I've doubled it up. She won't know. And just some salt. Teaspoon of salt. Some black pepper. And lid on and mix away to speed for 20 seconds.
So while that's mixing at Deb's end, I've literally just thrown in a litre of water, 1 drop of dishwashing liquid, turned on our pre-clean function for the short, and voila, all done. Sandy bowl wash, ready to go.
Well done. All right, you're right, Sarah. If I keep going.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that's mixed up. Giving it a whiz around. Then I have actually cheated and bought my tortillas tonight. This one's actually a paprika, smoky paprika flavoured one, and there is nice jalapeno ones. But if you haven't made your own tortillas, highly recommend them, because I tell you what, hands down over these, and will just make it taste amazing again. And they're quick and easy too. So this one's just a pre-bought one tonight. And all it's asking me to do is press the meat around the edge of the tortilla. So it's about a hamburger patty size. And then I just press it right to the edge, because what it will do, you need to add a bit more, you can add a bit more. What it tends to do when it's cooking on the barbecue is it will shrink, the meat will shrink away from the tortilla, and then you just add in your toppings once it's cooked.
And I'm going to add a recipe link to the comments, and it will also be in the email that we send out after the class. The cat cycle, I'd like a bit of that lemony slice, thank you. It's jumping up trying to smell the bowl. Is a roti recipe. The recipe makes 20 tortillas at a standard sort of rough dinner plate size. But if you're making these tortillas for the little smashed tacos, they're only about that sort of size. Literally you can get 30 or a little bit more from those. It literally will cost you 50 cents to make 30 tortillas. So how much did your 8 packet cost, Deb?
My 8 packet cost me $6. I was horrified. So yeah, and I'm just like, wow. And I needed to buy 2 packets of them because, you know, there is 6 of us eating, and the men in my family will eat 2. But these are a dinner plate size. But can you see how I haven't pressed it right to the edge, but it will shrink in a bit more. You can take it right to the edge. So what I'm going to do now is Davey's going to go out there and cook it. Hamburger side down first, and then he will flip it, and he's going to add some cheese, and the cheese will melt through onto the meat, and then he's going to bring it back into me to decorate and snazzy up, and it's as quick and easy as that. And you've got a friend, Sarah. All right, so I'm just going to run that out to him. I'll hand you back to Sarah. So down, and it only takes like a minute on the barbecue. Flip it back, cheese on top, let that melt through, and he's going to bring it back into me. So I'll pop you back over to Sarah, and I'll be back in 2 secs.
So I'm going to keep carrying on, but how does the sound of 50 cents for 30 wraps sound as opposed to, you know, what was it, $6 for 8? So if you want your 30 wraps, exponentiate that out, 50 cents. Please, people, get your Thermomix, start using it, save money. They're nicer than the ones you can buy from the store as well. So keep fresh for days, fabulous. I'm going to move on and make our hot chocolates. So who doesn't love a hot chocolate? And I'm sure Mum would love a hot chocolate on Mother's Day. It says 500 of full cream milk, but you can obviously use whatever milk you like to drink. So I'm just popping in 500.
Those wraps and rotis are great to pop in the freezer as well.
Absolutely.
So that you've got them ready for a quick dinner solution. And all you've got to do, and even if you have your mince mixture, make a double, pop half of it in the freezer, and you're ready to go.
Yeah. I just put a bit of baking paper between each roti wrap. If I'm going to freeze them or vacuum seal them or pop them into like the vacuum seal pouches and things like that to put flat in the freezer. It wants 100 to 150 grams of chocolate, but I'm using Calvert chocolate, so I'm actually only going to use about 85 grams instead. So if you want to be a real cheapskate spooge on your chocolate, 50 grams will do hot chocolates for 2, but you know, you could put 150 like the recipe says too, and have it really indulgently chocolatey for Mother's Day. Completely up to you how much popping though. So I'm just going to turn this on. The time's automatically set for 6 minutes. It's on 80 degrees. If you wanted to do this another way, because you didn't want to hunt through the recipe, you could also use your kettle mode on the Thermomix. I just put it on 70 degrees. It'll turn off when it's done. Do you want froth on your hot chocolate? Yes, you do. So if you manually use the kettle mode, then pop on the blend mode. So that will also give you some fancy froth at the end. So how simple and easy is that? Who's made hot chockies or who makes coffee in their family? Any takers for any of those things?
If I've ever anytime I make a chocolate cake or I've done melted chocolate for a recipe, all I do is then put in some milk and do as you said, put on kettle mode, and instead of washing that bowl and washing all that chocolate goodness out, just add some milk and make the cleaning mode into a hot chocolate essentially.
Yep, it's a brilliant way to clean the bowl and no waste. So great money saver as well. Like no one wants to wash their Calibut chocolate down the sink. So yes, definitely if you've made ganache or any of those sorts of things, it's a fabulous way to top them up at the end. It's the same as if you've made a batch of chocolate topping. Chocolate topping is a really good one. There's a great recipe on the recipe community for a batch of chocolate topping. I've also got one built into my Bailey's recipe. You need chocolate topping to make Bailey's. You need condensed milk to make Bailey's. It's the same. You might want to make a couple of those things before Mother's Day. So perhaps we'll also put the links for those into the email that we send out as well with the recipes. Just a bit more inspo, a bit more something to do for Mother's Day. So this one is
chai is a nice one as well, Sarah. For those people that don't drink coffee and like to drink chai lattes or chai teas, there's really delicious chai milk, like your tea mix. That you can make it with your milk powder in it. So all you have to do is add in your hot water and stir it through. So it's a nice little one to gift because you can put it in a nice little jar, and that keeps for ages as well.
Yeah, yeah. Or your dries, or you can just do like all the lovely spices. There's so many different ways. The chai, that one that has the milk powder, makes an enormous batch, doesn't it? Like, I remember the last time I made that, I put it into the big Tupperware like sandwich rectangle keeper thing because I'm like, jeepers, it was a fair whack here. So
I know I kept getting jar after jar out, thinking I need another jar to put some more in because it just keeps going and going.
Next thing you know, you realised you needed the big Fowler's jar. Number 31 or something, so you've actually got it to go. Oh, Anne's popped into chai syrup. Yes, the liquid version. That's another good one too, Anne. Save that recipe. We'll make sure we pop that one in the email as well. What have you got?
It's an American one.
An American one?
Yeah, I haven't tried it because I've done wet chai and chai powder before, but I just found that one.
Well, we'll have to quality control it then, Anne. Sounds like a work in progress I'm happy to undertake.
Sarah, there's my leftover meat patties. So I haven't made them into patties. I will do that on Sunday, but I am going to pop it into my vacuum seal container, pull it on and suck all that air out. See if it's the front. And that's going to go in the fridge, ready for Sunday. And it'll be easy dinner at my house on Sunday night. Kind of wish it was Mother's Day this week.
So you just press the green button on the wand there, Deb.
Press that green button and it has taken all the air out. And the little seal is
Sucked on in.
popped on in. And sorry, I'm just listening to my tortilla and it's come back in. Hang on, give me a minute.
Getting our mugs ready for our hot chockies. Happy days, happy days. Sit down, watch the footy. Who else is happy with the football at the minute? I definitely am after last night.
I thought while there's nothing happening at the moment, I thought I'd explain a little bit more about the features of the sensor. So not only can it connect up to the Thermomix in a recipe or on its own, but we've got on your phone the Cooking Center app. So you can depending if you can see that there, you can set what you're cooking. And if you go into lamb, depending on what type of cut you are cooking and how you like it cooked. So you can set all those parameters, and then you can be wherever you want to be, and the phone can be in your pocket and it will keep track of where the meat is up to, or whether it be the cake. You could have a cake in your oven, you could be outside in the garden. If your phone's on you, it's going to let you know when it's ready. So you're not going to have to keep going back inside to check on the oven, or the Thermomix screen, if it was connected to the Thermomix. So I was out cleaning the car the other day and it told me my bread was ready. So super easy. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feature, that's for sure. And it also does pop up where the timer pops up. It slots in there when you're using it. So that's how that one rolls. So this recipe just has you pouring it straight out. Fluffy. So I'm just going to come over, turn our blend mode on, and we're just going to whiz it up for 30 seconds.
Well, while you whiz that up, Sarah, here is my cooked tortilla. The cheese has started to melt, and we just like it a bit firmer. Why we because we like to taste that cheese and don't want it completely melted. So all I'm going to do now is pop on I've got some extra gherkins. Just reminds me of the McDonald's burgers. These, I love them. You can put any toppings on that you like too. Tomato. And we've got a bit of beetroot. So it's just like a smashed hamburger. A little bit of onion. And I'll just grab my sauce. Here's the sauce we prepared earlier. Drizzle some of that on the top, and I'll give you a show in a second. I like a lot of sauce. A little bit of lettuce. I didn't shred that up very well. And voila. Seriously, once you make that sauce, 5 seconds, and that smashed hamburger taco is done. And then all I'm going to do is fold it up. And it is divine. You haven't lived until you try this recipe. It's the best. On repeat. Now on repeat in my house.
I think what's that, about the third time you've made it in the last week and a half? Yep.
Yes, it is. I'm getting sick of them now, mind you, but they keep loving them.
And there's
Great budget friendly too.
Absolutely.
sized hot choppies ready to go. How easy is that? Let me see if I can tip it down so you can see the froth instead of a cat that refuses to not be the centre of attention.
Yum.
There's your lovely frothy hot choppy. And then while we wait for our lemon slice to finish, Deb, do you have one you've pre-prepared earlier?
Here's one I prepared earlier, just as quick and easy.
And
Sarah, can you pass me through that hot chocolate that I can have with it now, and I'll pass you through some already made slice?
I could put one in a to-go cup, Deb, and I'll trade you for a piece of lemon slice because I'm too impatient to wait for mine to finish.
Look, that's right. Mine's done.
But if you hold that up nice and close, you'll be able to see the centre is dewy on the lemony slice.
It's yum.
Soft and squishy. It's absolutely delicious. And while we spoke about the host rewards earlier, it would be remiss of me not to mention that Thermomix in Australia have partnered with Oz Harvest, and we have donated a heap of Thermomixes into the Oz Harvest kitchens to help prepare beautiful, fresh, delicious food for those in need across Australia and New Zealand. But we also have a demonstration campaign going. So if you were to host a cooking experience with yourself and 2 friends, Thermomix are donating 20 meals on your behalf to Oz Harvest. So for every demonstration held up until the 15th of May, you can contribute 20 meals into Oz Harvest for people less fortunate than ourselves. So if that is something that you would like to be a part of, please reach out to your consultant. They would love to host a cooking experience, whether that is virtual or in person, so that they can also help contribute to this, because it's a fabulous partnership that Thermomix have on the go at the moment. So that, my friends, is how easy it is to whip up a few things in your Thermomix. So we've got a couple of hot choppies. We have got a seriously lemony slice, and we have got smashed burger tacos, which is from the new Chaos Cooking Collection. How easy is that? Plus, of course, we covered off a heap of other different ideas of gift mixes, chais, syrups, Bailey's chocolate syrup, Kewpie mayo, also.
These are the little these are the small size of the squeezer
Let me
bottles.
pop you up. Hang on a second, Kaz.
Oh, sorry.
Everyone can see you.
I just grabbed it out of the fridge, but yeah, this is the small size. I was gonna say, here's an iPhone. So that's an iPhone Pro. But that's sort of the size. And the batch of mayo I did a little while ago made like 2/3 of this bottle. So you can put any of your dressings and sauces that you make in these, and sit them in the fridge. Great for doing those. And you could have your sauce tonight, Deb. You could sit that in there, and then you can squeeze it on Sunday night. Yeah.
Yes,
good.
I
And I can confirm that slice is absolutely delicious. We were lucky enough to taste it at our last team meeting last month. So we had an in-person meeting, and one of the other consultants in the team brought along the slice. So we were very lucky. Along with that, we had some pizzas and some cocktails. So if anyone was thinking of possibly joining as a consultant and joining our team, that's just some of the things that you could look forward to, along with many, 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 many other bonuses along the way.
We do love to give away incentives, don't we, at Thermomix? And Anne has just popped in the chat. If you have a baguette tray, these are fabulous for serving your soft shell tacos in, because they will nest in there lovely and keep them sitting up so people can come along and pick up. You could probably fit 6 of your tacos all dressed up, ready to go in one of these baguette trays, depending on what size you make your little tortillas with the lovely roti wrap recipe that we've made. That just requires you to put them in a pan. It literally takes a minute or two each one.
Yep.
Or if you're like me, you can put your flattened out circle of your tortilla wrap in your sandwich press, shut the lid, bingo, baby, both sides done at once. So super easy to do those tortillas as well. And need I say, the mix takes 1 minute to make. No resting. No.
And how much again, Celia?
Pardon?
And how much again, as opposed to my $6?
50 cents if you like.
Yeah. And that's $1.50 a wrap I paid.
Yeah, and I'm getting 30, so do the
But I
math.
was
Pete.
talking,
I'm paying a bit over, 2 cents a wrap, and yeah, you're paying $2 a wrap. Your choice with your money, but
yeah. And even though they're quick and easy to make, I was running my daughter to a Deb tonight, so I'm like, oh, that'll just have to do because I've got a slice to make.
And you've saved the money on the mayonnaise, which is going to give you heaps that you're going to get there. You've got all your lovely mints. And if you were to go to the local Mexican store and buy yourself 2 tacos out, you're looking at $20 for a couple of tacos. So,
Absolutely.
if you're taking your whole family of 4 to 6 out, you've got mum and dad coming on Sunday night. How much would that cost you if you're going to the local Mexican store? So stay at home, eat home, have delicious, beautiful, fresh food in your Thermomix instead.
And you know what you're eating.
You didn't have to pay for an Uber. Make those margaritas and cocktails at home as well. So no one has to pay an Uber. You're not paying $20 a cocktail. Make a couple of batches for $20 at home. So you've just saved yourself a couple $100 on a night out and got to spend it with the people that you love the most. without having to worry about eating with random strangers. What's not to love about that? I might buy myself another one.
Or embarrassing yourself.
Hey.
You can be as or embarrassing yourself. You can be as rowdy as you want at home.
That's
Two,
exactly right.
that too. So, thank you for joining, Deb, myself, Kaz, everyone who's jumped on, and for your tidbits. Great to chat, Sal, as well. Love to hear what you've been making in your family. Chelsea, Bronwyn, I hope you found a bit of inspiration this evening. And for those who couldn't get on this evening but who registered, you will be receiving this recording. So I hope you enjoy the inspiration that we've popped